easily Blue Jays have, or I wouldn't say easily, how steadily they've made it their way all the way to the grand finals. I'm willing to stick a leg out for them. I think that Blue Jays have got what it takes, and we're going to be kicking off the grand final with nothing other than Inferno.
Yes, here we go. Blue Jays versus Run or Die, the grand final of CEE Champions. Finally, we have gotten here. Hey, kid, aiming down middle. Oh, Sensei coming in with the P250. What a way to start out the grand final. And that is something that is going to matter a lot for Blue Jays. Is I imagine it is going to be down to the personal performances, because we have seen a player like Kixon absolutely pop off, and he really made a big difference. And that is something I'd love to see as well. Of course, you do want to see all the players around the same kills, but either way, Run or Die now looking to get into this B bomb site. Akanito on the A bomb site is wondering what's going on, but the execute is coming in. Styles is going to take out Native, gets the second, and look at this. Run or Die are running into the meat grinder, even though Blue Jays only had 4 players. ABM gonna take out one, but Kakanito gets the final blow, and that's going to be the first round for Blue Jays already.
That's something they're super happy to get under their belt. You know, Blue Jays kicking things off with the pistol round, being on the CT side. They want to capitalize on as many advantages as they can initially get. There were some really nice shots coming out from the Run or Die squad as well, but Styles, for the most part, he just made it look out so easy. Heading into the second round, though, not really much of an upgrade. There's a P250 on Sensei, but that is going to be it. Saving up all your money. Since they didn't get a bomb plant, have to be real conservative with how they spend their dosh.
Sensei holding off the push with his lovely P250. We've seen what he can do with that weapon before. The Blue Jays, they know better. They know that they don't need to push against these pistols, especially with them perhaps even expecting a force buy from Run or Die, because the CSGO meta, pretty much all the time, people tend to go for that second round force buy. So it's definitely something that Blue Jays are going to be expecting. Run or Die, they want to get that full buy ASAP. So they will have opted to go for the eco, but now they're looking to get into the B bomb site with their pistols, and Kixon is here with the farmhouse. Did get dinked, and his teammate does go down, so he really has to stay here and survive. Down to 3 HP, does go down, and Run or Die are now in control of this B bomb site, but 8kit comes in with the rotation. Styles does get the kill, but now Blue Jays are gonna have to try to retake this, and while the bomb isn't even down yet, Blue Jays find it with ease, but 2 kills for Run or Die with just a P250 put up, I believe. That's quite good.
Yeah, that's a substantial amount of damage, and if you consider the fact that is a CT side on the receiving end, you've wasted quite a bit of money. So there will be a few rebuys. Kixon and Danny, both of them having to pick up an MP9 and a FAMAS. We are going into a technical timeout before we see the rest of the round unfold. Now, Run or Die, it's a good thing they were conservative with their money. Obviously, not getting the bomb plant, it leads them to eventually buying up AKs. And I'm very interested in seeing if Blue Jays are going to have some sort of adjustment, considering that they lost 2 very important weapons.
Yeah, indeed. They are going to have to try to win this round against the AKs of Run or Die. Don't really have a bonus round going for them, especially because, well, they did lose those 2 players, so the players will have to rebuy 3 in total with very low money on the Blue Jays side. So if they lose this one, their economy is going to be looking pretty damn bad. Nade now holding a nade, looking to do some utility damage early on. Lovely addition of the player cams on the sides, though. Gives us an idea of what the players are feeling like right now in this match. Very focused indeed. KVM, he's looking to go towards his A bomb site, but he's waiting for his team to join him.
Not quite taking control of brackets just yet, waiting for the smoke to expire. Bomb in middle. Player tucked into apartments as well. Now, Blue Jays have a super passive setup, but it's also hinging around the fact that they have a stack. So, Danny, with only a FAMAS, he's expected to hold down the B wire. Kakanito, in the meantime, quickly makes quick work of Native, who tries to aggress middle. And in the meantime, they're starting to reroute their efforts towards Banana. Now, Blue Jays, it's good that they've managed to disassemble this stack and send over 2 players towards B, because that's exactly where the intention of Run or Die is heading.
Yeah, kicks in here with the MP9 looking perhaps get lucky at the edge of the smoke, but Sensei, he's thinking the same thing. But look at the time, 33 seconds left, and Run or Die, they have to make a decision ASAP, and kicks in a prime position. Just imagine what could happen if a flash comes in, but no, the molly will further delay Run or Die. They have to come in, they would have to run through the flames, but they're gonna wait even longer. This will allow Blue Jays to find all these kills. That's what you would think, because Jakey and Sensei get 3 in total. And Run or Die are able to put the bomb down. Stylies and 8-Kit now in a very tough spot.
3 on 2, Run or Die, they definitely have the advantage. A bit surprising since Blue Jays had the correct adjustment. Jackie, he's quite low. Would be arm's length from being taken out. There's the peak 8-Kit. He's revealed his cards. He's the first man to move in, and Stylies, they're simply not giving up an inch, but now they have. Blue Jays quickly starting to make the call. Do they even stick to this? Oh, Barrow spotted. 8-Kit has found one. And that's a bit disappointing, because 8-Kit committed so hard onto that retake, and Stylies simply wasn't there to support. I think if he had, that would have baited out the player towards triple to peek out, give up his information, and potentially give out the frags. But no cigar.
And honestly, it shouldn't even have had to come to a retake. It looked so good for the Blue Jays. They just had to find these kills, and, well, they weren't able to do that, especially with the low time. Bomb now not even able to explode because it doesn't need to. Now Sensei, DNK is gonna put some early pressure onto Banana, but look at this angle from Cognito. Has a bit of a one-way going on, doesn't get the kill though. Jakey down to 10 HP, but Cognito does still want to regress. Blue Jays really want that Banana control. Definitely is understandable, because Banana control is so damn important, especially when you throw deep smoke. Oh, look at this. They're just rotating towards the A-bomb side.
Now they know that there's one player tucked into apartments. Head spotted. A little spray looking a bit sloppy here, and the Deagle will eventually be put in the graveyard. Now, heading on to the A site, Danny, the only man trying to fight back, and he is going to put that Deagle to work. Okay, even with a leg hanging off of his body, he can still get 2 frags. But eventually that 1 point of health will also be exhausted. Kixon wants to take that M4 into the next round. Quickly puts it in a bag, takes the silencer off. That goes in his pocket. And Run or Die, they're guaranteed to get 2 rounds now.
Indeed. Run or Die. Great start on this D side, of course. This map being a bit CT sided. You do want to have more CT rounds than the T rounds, of course, if you're Blue Jays. Yeah, Run or Die already showing us why they have picked into this map, because when I saw it, I was like, okay, Blue Jays, they pretty much destroyed the team on this map. Of course, that could just be something that happens once in a while. It doesn't always happen, because Blue Jays had a player that was absolutely popping off, so that certainly is going to help Dixon. Does have 4 kills already, but doesn't look as explosive yet as he used to.
Run or Die have gotten the privilege of immediately tying the scoreline up. Blue Jays, not a chance to run away with it at all. The only thing they save in this round is that M4 that they carry on over, and I'm interested in seeing how they want to position around it. So they've left the M4 towards the B site. You have a flashbang for Danny, and the way he's holding it, he's about to flash out for a teammate. Oh no, it's just so poorly handled. Kixon wants to hold on to his life for a little bit longer, and he somehow manages to make his way all through the flames. Run or Die fully exhibiting control on the B site, and Blue Jays are scratching their heads a little bit. They're not quite sure if this is going to be the full-on push.
Yeah, don't really have the weaponry to hold on to this bomb site either. Gonna have to use Kixon to do the dirty job. Becky, he's actually holding down this boost. Oh no, Cognito loses his head almost instantly. Now, Blue Jays are going to have a lot of trouble holding this B bomb side, I would say. Run or Die at least know that there's another player here. That is, of course, the player boosting the other one. Kixen, with the signs them for playing very aggressively, as he does need to. Kixen takes out Jakey through the smoke, gets the headshot, turns it into a 4 versus 4. Of course, there's still USPs in the mix, but Native takes out Danny. And Run or Die now, 4 versus 3. Only one rifle in the hands of Blue Jays. I think it's time to save.
Yeah, this would be the second time this M4 gets to go home. And it's probably the most battle-tested M4 now, you know? Gets to live through a couple rounds, all right. Yeah, Stylies and 8-Kit. They're only serving as guardians to help their teammates save, if anything, you know? Draw some attention towards CT. Allow Kixen to stay as far away from the action as possible. This is where they start to get some money.
Oh, yeah. Well, on the CT side, that's where they actually need the money the most. Their also weapons a bit more expensive, and it also is a bit more difficult to maintain that economy. They're going to need the money a little bit more in this situation. Run or Die playing quite well up until now, and it's starting to show why they were taking that win against Navi, or well, the core of that lineup all the way back in May. Now, it is time for round number 6, and as you can see, Blue Jays, they're utilizing the new meta. And I like to see it, because right after that update happened, I didn't see a lot of teams using it, but this is brilliant. Great stuff.
This is a bit different from Run or Die. Normally, they've gone for a lot of brackets control early on, or at least they've contested mid. But this time around, they're willing to only have one player sneak into Banana, and this kind of works out in their favor. If you consider that Blue Jays are not deploying any utility early on, they're just playing this passive style of setup, this should work for Run or Die. Now, question is, how quickly are the reinforcements called? Okay, that's the nade. Both to protect, and man, Danny has taking quite a bit of a scratch in the process of just trying to stick around Cough and have a little bit of info. Run or Die, luckily for them, sighs of relief will be had since their efforts are going to be headed towards brackets instead.
Run or Die now getting ready for this execute, and Blue Jays all from short, trying to hold on to this. 8-Kit is going to get mollied out of position though, 50 HP. Stays in the fire for a bit too long, gives away his position as well with that damage sound. And Run or Die, they're getting ready for this execute. 4 players will be coming out of pass, will be a waterfall strat. And Kakanito, he's fully blinded. KVM gets the first, Kakanito with the second. Sidees gets a double, but now, oh, Jakey, this guy has been absolutely on fire for Run or Die. He's completely opened up the 8-bomb site. Now the bomb will go down, and Blue Jays are going to have to try to retake this one 2 versus 2.
This is one they have to go for. I mean, man, they've saved in a couple of rounds in a row. Oh no, that's an off angle. Sensei catches one out. That is Danny, M4 in hand, looking for Jackie, trying to jiggle peek it out, maybe get the info, but it's simply not going to happen. Run or Die, they come out on top, and they continue their stampeding lead.
Yeah. Run or Die. It's just, up until this point, it's starting to look like they're kind of outclassing Blue Jays. Like, the aim department is just going a little bit good for them. Oh! That kill. Absolutely lovely to see that. We get to see the POVs from all these kills. But now round number 7. And Blue Jays, they're in this exact situation once again, where they have a rifle, and next to it, they only have some pistols. But this time, yeah, they're going for the middle rush. Sensei's holding it down for the one player. But Native, oh, this is brilliant stuff. Takes out Kixen. Gets the headshot, and no one is in mid anymore. Stylies wanted to go for a 1v towards second mid, but KVM is gonna shut down his teammate. Kakanito does get a trade frag, turns it into a 3 versus 4. Does decide rotate towards a B bomb side, and well, Run or Die still in front of A. Of course, when you have that rifle and you get a kill on A, you're gonna give your teammate, your opponents, the impression like, okay, the guy with the rifle is on A, let's go to B. So I see what he's doing there.
Yeah, and Kakanita being on B, the problem is that even if he gets a kill on the player that is individually approaching from run or die in the form of Jackie, it would telegraph way too much. Now, Blue Jays, they've not exactly made the right call if they want to maximize their chances at a round win, but it also does allow them to have a bit more longevity for that M4A1S. Eagle, tightly tucked into Boiler. Styles is going to be the man wielding it like Thor's hammer. Run or die, they want to whiz past this. AVM around Boiler. Just does his body get spotted here? Looking pretty uncomfortable here. Styles knows. Oh man, he could even go for the knife. He's just.
Oh.
Oh yeah, you can almost feel the body heat at this point. AVM eventually goes down, but that's also the AWP being recovered. Really good trigger discipline to try to get him additional points of information. And now the question is, do they go for it? Do they commit these 3 members in an attempt to try to go for a retake? Instead, they're passing over weapons, and they've made the call. They want to stick as far back as possible. Take these weapons to the next round. T-spawn it is. And I like that. You know, he stuck to his guns for as long as possible just to be able to also have a chance at a retake. But since that doesn't really yield any information, it does make sense that they instead pass over weapons so that they can have 3 free buys. And while it may not look like it, this is actually quite significant for Bruises. So one of the pivoting points, obviously, for the CT side is the economic disadvantage they have. And if you can get 3 free buys, that's an entire free gun round.
Oh yeah, indeed, and the money's so damn important, especially with Blue Jays being behind 2-5. They really need these rifles because, well, as we've seen before, if they don't have the rifles, it doesn't really look too good for them, especially even if they're in like great situations, as we've seen towards B bomb site with Run or Die almost running out of time. Jackie just comes in, destroying absolutely everyone, so they really need as many buys as they can get. And Jackie, talking about the devil, he's just coming in, gets a kill, but Kakanita with his raid, and well, this guy, his confidence, this is looking absolutely disgusting. Now KVM is looking to go into the apartments, but 2 players are holding his position. Styles, if he does miss his shot, there will be a rifler next to him to finish the job. Run or Die, they're going to this A bomb site, and Blue Jays, the only defense is in the apartments. KVM, they got 8 hit Styles with a trade, but KVM is on the other side to execute him, and he's already looking for the retake players. This is absolutely horrible stuff for Blue Jays.
Things are not going too well at all. Now, granted, this is Run or Die's map pick, but it's still looking a bit one-sided at the moment. Blue Jays, they finally decided, you know what, we are going to go for a retake, but as soon as that call has been made, Kakanita's the only one member remaining on the side of Blue Jays.
Yeah. Benito running out. I'm trying to figure out what the players are in the cameras. I do believe the player on the left is 8kid. The player on the right would be Jackie. What do you think?
Yeah, you're right about Jackie.
All right. On the left, it's a bit more difficult, but I would guess 8kid for now. I mean, we'll figure it out because we can see when a player is dead. Of course, we'll figure it out that way. But yeah, Blue Jays, come on, guys, it's time. It's time to start this grand final because Run or Die, they're looking to take this one away on Inferno. Of course, it's only 6-2, so nothing too bad has happened just yet. This is definitely still something Blue Jays can recover from. Styles going for an aggressive middle peek. Fortunately, Run or Die a bit too late to the party, so he won't be able to find anyone. Now Run or Die native. Smoking off long. But there will be a counter smoke. It will be the middle smoke. But yeah, Blue Jays, they're just they use up all their utility, and that's exactly what Run or Die want here. Nixon progressing towards Banana a little, but oh, gonna go for the boost. Jackie on the other side. He's been a good fragger from Run or Die, and now he's down.
Very good bout of initiative being taken by Blue Jays because normally you weren't seeing them do that. Little mix-up being thrown in, run or die. They're going to leave Jackie scratching his head for a second. But with only 45 seconds left on the clock, run or die need to start making a move now. Psycho acting as a stepladder to allow a little bit more information off of that AWP. Styles doesn't need to say his opponent to thread the needle. Very nicely done. And now the bomb getting ready to be recovered. 25. How quickly can they get something done? Do they even go for it? Do they just go for a save?
Interesting.
I feel like we're seeing quite a few saves already.
Oh yeah.
And honestly, White, that's something I really dislike about Inferno. Just having these long rotational times and having so many nooks and crannies you can hide in away from the fight, it really disincentivizes having to take disadvantageous duels. And disadvantageous duels coming out on top are often some of the most exciting things about Counter-Strike.
Yeah, and I feel like in this round especially, run or die saving, sure, it helps out their economy, but when you look at the money of Blue Jays in the last round, they were all sitting around 1,000, even lower. So if run or die, even if they wouldn't have won the round and would have just died by elimination, they still would have killed a few players or even won the round, so it would have really pressured the economy of Blue Jays. But right now, they're just letting it build up, and that's something that they really can't afford to do.
Kicks, and once again, he's back to his dirty ways. A kill has been secured, but it's at the cost of 2 lives, and I think Native might be bringing that tally to 3. Psycho, another kill in the bag.
It's 8, kid.
Yeah, as soon as he got shot in the head. Just leaning back in your chair, yeah, that's the signal right there. And you can see that Blue Jays are already positioned in a way where they end up saving 1 rifle. If it's a B hit, Danny gets to save his weapon. And if it's an A hit, Styles gets to stick to that AWP for as long as he'd like. So I'm really not a fan of how this is always teetering towards a save, and it's not particularly very explosive Counter-Strike, which we've familiarized ourselves with as probably the best kind. But heading into brackets, now run or die. Okay. I think Styles just... some information was telegraphed to Styles, and as soon as he realizes that, okay, it's not going to be an A hit, courtesy of Danny clearing out Banana, just backs off, you know? Try to save that weapon once more. Run or die, they're doing an excellent job on their T side, and I believe things are going to get even more dire as soon as they hop on the CT, because Sensei isn't even enabled yet on that AWP.
Yeah, indeed. And I find this a really interesting way of Counter-Strike that is being played right now, because usually most of the action would really happen towards the later stages of the game, the later stages of the round, I mean. But in this, most of the action happens at the beginning, and then the team is just like, okay, we don't have the players, let's save. And then it's just at the end, everyone's just waiting for the round to go over. So it's a really interesting style of Counter-Strike, and I am not sure I like it either. Tactical timeout coming in.
Yeah, they really need to iron out some kinks, you know? I like the fact that Styles has consistently been in the position where he wants to go for initiative, but it's not often been enabled by his teammates. So you see that Kixon wanted to push into apartments. That was an individual effort. Styles did it. You don't often see those flashbangs being turned up. So a lot of Blue Jays' style is this very static style of Counter-Strike where they play passively within the bomb sites, and the initiative is not actually a team effort. And although I get it, yes, you often rely on individuals to come out on top, but setting up utility around them or having rotational adjustments to be able to grant more opportunities for individual prowess, that's something that's severely lacking from Blue Jays. Once again, we're seeing Styles go for a bit more of a balls to the wall approach. Yeah, his barrel's been spotted. Ooh.
yeah, gets away with his life.
Mm-hmm.
Count his lucky stars, because if he would have peaked even further, he would have gone down. And now Blue Jays perhaps a chance at this round. I mean, it's still a 5 versus 5, so we really can't count them out just yet. The Blue Jays, really a team that, you know, they really expect the individual performances, and no, it hasn't just really come out just yet. Styles does have 10 kills, but of course when you're the AWPer, really are expected to at least do some fragging. Styles will be going for a boost above the smoke. Or no, well, yeah, it will be Kakanito, excuse me. He's going to be looking above, and Runner Die are actually coming in, but he gets flashed, he gets spotted. Free Fire comes in, but Kakanito is going to take up Psycho through the smoke. Blue Jays now in a 5 versus 4, and Run or Die, please don't go for a save. Please still try, because this is something we've seen all too much. Now Jackie is going to try to look. Perhaps there's a lurk coming in. Perhaps Blue Jay are getting a bit too trigger happy. Jackie, will he expect these two players to sit behind the tree? Kicks and comes in, gets the first. AVM with the trade, but no, they're not going to check it again. Danny with a double. He does get the trade, but now in a 1 versus 3 situation with 18 seconds, CT's coming from every single side. And there, as CT Smoke even fails, Styles gets the final frag, and Blue Jays put a 4th on the round. But 4 rounds on the CT side, they really should start winning some rounds again, because if Run or Die win that 8th round, they're already going to win the half, and that just shouldn't happen on the T side.
It's actually just been a mess for Blue Jays so far, but now that they can finally thread the needle, you know, get something on the board. Run or Die are still very much in the position where they can easily sweat. Okay, I like that from Kixon and Danny. Little tag team effort to put Psycho out of commission. Had to leave 4 players in the fray. Oh no, Jackie's telegraphed that he knows that somebody's trying to put out the fires with a smoke. Kixon, he keeps on progressing, just wants to put the pedal to the metal. And all of a sudden, this is looking a bit convincing from Blue Jays, if anything. And Run or Die, now they're going to be left with metaphorical flies coming out of their wallets.
Yeah. Game just took a full 180 degrees turn. Blue Jays now looking like the dominant force in this map. Now Native is looking to go towards that B bomb site with his teammate Sensei. Of course, it is going to be a 2 versus 2 on this bomb site, so, well, they could still get bomb site control, but be smoked off. I do believe that was their own smoke. No, they have 2 smokes. My bad. It's a CT smoke, of course. Maybe that could have been a special little tactic, but Native gonna line up his smoke. And Run or Die, they're still gonna try to go for this, and, well, actually in a round where they kind of need the AKs in the next round, so interesting stuff. With 17 seconds, they really have to run in. They're coming in, but the utility of Blue Jays, it's just too much. It keeps blinding them. They're now going to look for the flank, and 8-Kit takes him out. Native just has to die, because otherwise he won't be getting any bonus money. And Blue Jays know this, so they're going to wait until there's no more time. And now they're going for the kill. And, well, Native's gone. $300 in the bank. Well. That's bad.
At that
Real
point,
bad.
do you even need a bank? You can just have a little pouch to put all of your coins in.
Indeed.
Yeah, I don't think that bank is accepting any more deposits from Native. The credit worthiness has just gone down. No stonks, not at all. But the problem I see here is that Run or Die have obviously cemented themselves as at least a team that can bring it to a very convincing half. 7 rounds on the T side, not terrible at all. And once they get on the T side, and once they get on the CT side, rather, it should be a good show.
And
The question is, who's going to get that halftime victory? Because right now, Blue Jays are pretty locked and loaded.
Oh yeah, and well, with the momentum going the way of Blue Jays, if they keep getting these rounds, and if they even perhaps win this half, the momentum will be going with them into the second half. And well, Styles showing us what the confidence of momentum can do for you. Of course, Psycho only had a pistol, so nothing too impressive just yet, but it's definitely gonna get them warmed up. The eco frags definitely feel good to get, even though there's not really any resistance, but really good to get that momentum going. Run or die now. Looking to perhaps go towards the A bomb site, it's just waiting. Don't really need to rush things because this, of course, gives the team time to talk about perhaps what they want to do in the next round. Because, of course, you only get 4 timeouts, even though a lot have been used already. But why would you use a lot of them? We're only in the first half. Styles gets his second frag, and Blue Jays now. Oh, KBM gets to a 3 versus 3. This is now doable for Run or Die.
Man, Run or Die, they've definitely caused a few dents, but the problem is that I don't expect it to go any further than that, Sensei. Did your head get spotted there? Was the beret spotted? Yeah, even if it wasn't, Danny's going to take care of it regardless. Blue Jays are quickly looking very convincing. Now, they've brought it to a point where 7-7 is very reasonable. But Run or Die, obviously, from their perspective, they're willing to... They're in a position where they're basically playing for bonus rounds. Obviously, anything that they can get on top of this, it's already going to be a stellar T side. They don't have too much to worry about at the moment.
Yeah. Ooh,
3 players
Styles.
position. Yeah, Banana. I like how they're going for early control, but they still have 2 insurance policies in the form of Danny and Kixon trying to protect the AWP player. Now, Run or Die have previously shown that they're willing to expend a few players individually to try to get information on Banana, but that's not something they've done now. They go for these late plays, which inhibit Blue Jays' ability to get early frags, and I really like that. It's Nate as well. Oh, how does that only do 3 points of health? I'm not exactly sure, but Styles, I think he might have had his fingers crossed there, but that protected him.
Oh. Becky. Checking out every single angle. Every nook and cranny will be checked by him. But something I find quite disturbing is the fact that Run or Die, well, they're not really good at adapting because Blue Jays, they changed the game plan up, and now Run or Die. It's looking like a completely different game compared to the beginning now, of course, with the caster curse. They're probably just going to absolutely destroy Blue Jays in this round and just going to destroy my point, but now are going to go and look at a B split. And this is really interesting because Blue Jays, it looks like they're finally figuring out what's going on. Styles is going to take out Jackie. And Styles does miss the flick. Does take up Psycho. Actually tags him down to 15 HP. But Sensei comes in with the AK headshot. Danny has to hold down the line. Gets 2, gets 3. And there is no time anymore. It doesn't even matter. Blue Jays absolutely shut down Run or Die. And I think the fact that the clock was running so damn low, less than 10 seconds, also just makes it that Run or Die were really panicking.
That's so wonderful from Danny. He also exploits the position that his teammate was previously in. So they don't expect that a player is going to be that quick in peeking out of Coffin. And yes, they had so much pressure just to get the bomb down that they had to walk into a very disadvantageous duel. Run or Die, I want to see if they go for their bread and butter setup here because they don't exactly have the weapons to go for it. Normally, they're taking late control of Banana and they're relying on Pointman to get individual frags. But with Tech 9s and MP9s, there's, or rather Mac 10s on the T side, there's obviously something to be said about just having a collective effort and it yielding more results.
Well, more results are certainly needed for Run or Die because I just don't know what happened. I mean, Blue Jays all of a sudden absolutely started destroying Run or Die, and now Run or Die just don't know how to react. Will be smoked off yet again. There will be a counter smoke from Run or Die. Perhaps they're gonna try to rush through this one, because otherwise I don't really see why they just threw that side smoke. It's a bit of a waste, really. Don't really see a point behind it. Perhaps you have an idea why?
They're trying to draw out the attention early on.
Oh yeah.
Just trying to make sure that the rotations won't go through. KVM, he's the first casualty of this T side. And now they do have to commit. They've only got 30 seconds. Oh, no, Danny, I think he was a bit premature in peeking out. Let's see if those Tech 9s are going to work. Molotov not even needed. How is Run or Die getting away with this? Tylees, he's interrupted the bomb plant. Can he do a little bit more? Deagle's missing. Kakanito swinging out. 2 kills for the man. And now with the bomb not being planted, there's so much pressure on Native. They were supposed to get this round. Native, little late on the bomb, and he's not stuck it. There we go. No way! That was the last second! He wasn't supposed to beat Kakanito. There was simply no time.
Wow. That is absolutely devastating for Blue Jays, but there is something. Even if Run or Die are able, or well, even if they lose this final, because they could lose it, they will have $5,000. That would give each player 1,000. Of course, minus a cut for the organization. Actually, they don't have an organization. It would give them enough money to buy a watch, because they really need one, because their time management hasn't been too good.
Now heading on to the pistol round, first map, grand finals, second half. Let's see how this one's going to roll out. Jackie will be the first point of contact if they head up towards Banana. Tylees. Maybe he'll be the first person to start an argument here. Yep, shot's been fired. And Jackie's still playing up very close. Now, there isn't a single flashbang, so they don't have to worry about being caught out in that fashion. But it's smokes and mollies coming their way. Jackie peeks out with a supportive flashbang. Not at all. It's not going to work out, and Kakanito gets the opener. Run or Die, quickly trying to get reinforcements.
And Native just really has to hit one of those lucky headshots through the smoke. Won't be able to do so. That's gonna put Run or Die in a really tough spot on the CED side. For USBs and a Dream, they don't really have any utility. But the same can be said for Blue Jays. Now, the good thing for Run or Die is, of course, they do have a defuse kit. But, well, Kixon is there, Danny as well, and they're just absolutely popping off. But KVM, 2 trade frags with the USB. Opponent jumping and running away, scared of what's coming next. Tensa and KVM do have to move up as soon as possible because there's not a lot of time, but the kills, they are coming in, but will there be enough time? KVM is going for the defuse, but Kaganito gets both frags in the final second. And that's going to be 8-8. Blue Jays get their first to T-side round. And well, Run or Die. Oof. I just don't know how it went wrong. Looked so good in the beginning.
Blue Jays have just done a stellar job of keeping things close together, and I think they would have even had a bit more of a buffer if Kakanito was able to get that final round in the first half. But, you know, we can discount their losses now. At least they've got a lot more room to breathe with. I'm actually very interested in seeing how much of an impact Sensei is going to have when he has his own hands on an AWP, because Stylies, obviously, he was a big fragger. He was getting a bunch of impact. He was able to hold down under lock and key. Oh, bit unfortunate that Native can't find anything in the midst of the chaos, but there's still a man remaining in the form of Psycho. He's got a deagle. Wait, is that a deagle? Yeah, that's a deagle. I got used by the 5-7 there for a second. Blue Jays, they're not going to be making any time management mistakes here. They've got plenty of time to head on over to A, head on over to B. It doesn't matter where they go. They have the advantage regardless.
Yeah, just hope that they won't make the same mistake as their opponents, because Run or Die, well, their time management not so great. But Blue Jays with 40 seconds left, they're getting really close to this bomb site. So I am feeling very happy about that. Now, Run or Die, they do still have 2 players here, but the weaponry isn't really there, though. But Blue Jays, they're not really checking pit, but either way, Danny does get that kill. KVM still in the pit, but Stylies is going to plant safe. That will allow Blue Jays to get that bomb down. And Run or Die are going to have to try to retake this, but I just don't think they really have what it takes in this round. 2 players, an MP9 and Desert Eagle, and not even a fuse kit. Perhaps there's one on the bomb site, but that would even be difficult to get to. And KVM now, 1 versus 3 with an MP9. At this point, I think he's just going to go full damage.
Yeah, Blue Jays is continually showing that they're willing to give up a very competitive fight to run or die. Now, there is one more shoddy round in the pipeline before we start to see some action from run or die, but that's really where things are going to start getting heated up. We see a lot of storylines here. You know, how's the AWP if Styley is going to stack up against Senso? Yeah, I'm saying Senso, Sensei. How is Psycho's rifle going to stack up against Kakanito and Danny? A lot to dissect here. We'll be getting answers to that very, very soon.
Yeah.
Senso would actually not be a terrible name either, right?
I actually have a friend with that name.
Oh.
Belgian player.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, not on this level, though. Maybe one day.
Yeah, that's how they all start.
Yeah. Simple. Used to be a young Pugstar too, and now he's on top of the world. Perhaps one of these 10 in the server. Maybe. HLTV top 20 one day. Who knows? Something we'll have to see by ourselves. Now, run or die on this A bomb site. They're going for the stack. Good idea, especially with the fact that they don't really have the weaponry that it takes to, well, put players on the A side and the B side. But look at this, Kakanito, he's going on a bit of an adventure towards the B bomb site. Blue Jays, they're looking ready to run into this A bomb site. But now, Psycho gonna take out Stylies. Perhaps he forgot to buy head armor. It happens sometimes. Mistakes do tend to happen. Psycho, oh no. Blue Jays, not like this. Naked is gonna take out Psycho. Native and Checky with the kills, and no, Blue Jays. Perhaps they should have just gone to the A bomb site, because turning their back to the run or die players, that was a big mistake. Now run or die are all coming from Banana. So that's a choke point. That is something that Blue Jays can hold down. But it is gonna have to be Kakanito, because Danny, he's very low. It is going to be the crossfire, but the smoke comes in. But there is a gap. Kakanito can play around. It is going for the blind spray. Jackie down to 36 HP. Gets the kill. And now, 2 versus 2. Run or die coming in. Kakanito gets the tag, but doesn't get the kill just yet. Run or die. They have to move quickly. They don't have a defuse kit. And, well, it doesn't even matter. KVM takes out Kakanito with a deagle headshot. And that is going to be the 9th round for Run or Die. Finally.
That is super problematic, because you can see that run or die. There was supposed to be another shoddy round in the pipeline, as I said, but that's not something that came through. Instead, run or die can immediately make it more expensive. They've done it with pistols. They've done it with the USB in there. And there's a good reason why Blue Jays are going for a timeout. They're wondering what the hell happened. They still do have the money to recover, but that obviously puts them at a pretty big disadvantage. Still, being run or die's map pick, it's still quite the performance by Blue Jays, but we really haven't seen the gun rounds unfold from run or die just yet. You know, now he's got the AWP. Sensei's going to look like a monster. You've got as much utility as they possibly need. And there's also one more storyline here. It's the fact that KVM is really stepping above the rest at the moment. You know, he's going 18 and 13 at the moment. Top fragging across all of the server, only rivaled by Stylies on the other side of the spectrum. And that's an opera, man. KVM has been doing it with a rifle, and he's done it on the T side. How much more monstrous is he going to be when all he has to do is hold and point and shoot?
Yeah, it's absolutely lovely to see, because he's going to be the player with the most to prove on this lineup. Only has a HLTV team record since 2021, so pretty new player to this level. Now, Danny, out of boiler. Oh, Sensei is ready. That is not where you expect an opera to be. And look at this. Blue Jays. It's looking like the first part of this map all over again. Run or die. Absolutely shutting down Blue Jays. Not even giving them a chance. 8kit with a Tech 9, but Sensei, of course, knows that. 8kit gonna try to pick up that weapon, but Sensei takes him out. Even though he's blind, will just shoot after a second or two and get the kill. Now, Run or Die finally have the lead again.
Yeah, double digits have been collected, and not only do they have the lead, they also have the economic advantage. You know, there's this overarching theme right now of Blue Jays potentially being stuck in an economic rut for the next couple of rounds. Even when they do get money in the next one, it's only going to be supplemented with a few AKs, maybe missing head armor, a couple smokes thrown in there. Sensei, after the side switch, he's already picked up 3 kills, so things are looking up for the man. You know, he was on 9 kills. If he can continue the madness, flashbang out, and that'll allow Danny to narrowly avoid the crosshairs of a very proactive Sensei.
Round 20. Blue Jays now, of course, with those pistols. We've seen some very impressive rounds with weapons like this, but I'm not seeing it here. Danny only with the Eagles rest clocks. This would absolutely require a miracle for this round to go their way. Now, perhaps miracle could begin here. No, Native takes out Stylies. Kakanito does get a kill with the Glock, and Native gonna get hunted down, but does take out Kixon with the CZ. We'll switch to the Silence then 4 and takes out Danny with the nade as well. 8 Kid with just the Glock is gonna go down, and Native gets himself a nice little eco ace.
Is this Blue Jays a start to climb back into it? Because I know that it's not really much of a difference in between the scorelines right now, but
Yeah.
realistically speaking, this is a much bigger advantage than it looks like on the server, because obviously beating out Blue Jays when they only had a P250 and a few USPs thrown into the mix, it means that they've got a massive economic advantage. Yup, Sensei not going to be missing that shot. 8-Kit once again. If we had the cameras on, he'd be leaning back into his chair. We miss out on the privilege of just that. You can see how stacked they are, right? They're sitting on almost 10k on KVM and Native, so obviously they don't have too much to worry about. Sensei acts as a guardian angel for KVM as they move in, but now that angel has had its wings clipped, Psycho on the bomb site, weaving in around the pillar, eventually gets taken down, and all of a sudden, it's actually Run or Die with the disadvantage. I'm not sure how Kakanito picked up 2 kills in that regard, but Native has a chance.
Oh yeah, he has a chance, but with the AWP, it's gonna be absolutely horrible for him to try to win this. It's gonna be very difficult. Anito, only 20 HP, and well, a CZ comes out.
Ooh.
This could be a chance. Native takes out Kakanito. Native switches to the AK and gets the headshot onto Stylies. Native absolutely styling on Mr. Stylies, and Blue Jays. Well, that round looked like it was theirs, but Run or Die, they say no. They put now 12 on the board, and look at this Native for $12,000. This man is absolutely the pank of his team, and Kakanito, well, that was absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, just switching over to the AK in the nick of time. He didn't even have it out properly as he jumped up on the box, but then he eventually gets the kill regardless. And it obviously puts Blue Jays in a position where they're staring down at a wall. If they end up losing this, feed them with barely any money. Kixon's been taken away. He's been taken out to dinner by Sensei. And Native will be chiming in as well, putting Kakanito in the grave. So before Blue Jays can even get the party started, it's already over.
Oh yeah. This is why Run or Die, of course, picked this map. I'm not going to be too fast about calling Run or Die's win, because we have seen how fast the momentum can shift, and when the momentum shifts, it's always a few rounds in a row for a team, because this game, not that back and forth, because we see games where the team wins one, the other team wins the second, and then it just keeps on going, but here is just one team wins 3 rounds in a row, and then the other team gets momentum and does exactly the same. It's something I don't really see a lot That's why I find it extremely inspiring and interesting to watch. But now, 46 seconds left, and Blue Jays, well, I'll allow them to eco because to save because there's been rounds where it's been questionable, but right now, what can you really do?
Yeah, good decision from them to save, honestly, but I actually take that back. I'm a bit unsure about this because obviously this allows them to have some firepower going into the next round, but it also puts them in the spot where
Oh
their
yeah,
buys will be uncoordinated with the rest of the team if they end up losing. So it may seem like an attempt at a fruitful round in the next one, but it could also lead down the slippery slope of being in an economic recovery where run or die just end up winning the map itself.
yeah, and the loss bonus as well. Look at it; it's so much money. I would rather have that than an AK, personally, for economy's sake. Sensei. Absolutely.
Okay, yeah, so they've opted to just throw together whatever they can in the form of a ropey buy. 3 rifles, a couple Mac 10s, lots of utility. But they're gonna have to do something a bit harder and faster because run or die, if they're allowed to play the game to their own pace, they usually come out on top. Now, Sensei is playing this very proactively. Molotov to... Ooh. Tried to nudge them out of the corner, but that's still a fair bit of damage. Sensei sticking to his guns. Doesn't budge at the thought of the Molotov even, and Danny will be the first prisoner. Looking for 4 more. Sensei repositions. A nice flick on, and Kixon, he will die before 8kid can finally recover. 4 versus 3, and run or die. They're on for the retake, but they've already gotten a fair bit of damage done before the digits are actually punched in.
Yeah. Blue Jays now. They have to hold on for dear life. 3 versus 4 are already tagged up quite a bit. Just gonna have to hunt those headshots, native. Running Jackie. Retake from out of ruins, but Styles, he has a bit of an edge. His position is something that they might not check instantly. He could perhaps get 1 or 2 kills if he plays it correctly. Gets 1 with KVM and native. Well, Psycho gets the final frag, and run or die. They clean up this B bomb site, and we can just take a look at both player cams that we have on the screen right now. 8kid looking absolutely defeated, and Jackie looking calm and collected. And well, do you think this could actually play a factor? Because 8kid, of course, he knows that, he's sharing his webcam, probably knows that it's on the screen. And with him performing as he is playing right now, will this actually be impacting him? I don't know.
I think it definitely can, but part of Counter-Strike is just having eyes on you, having viewers thinking about that, and still performing. No fearlessness in the face of all pressure, so... And you also can't discount the fact that obviously Jackie's going through the same thing, so... Very even Steven, and with 8kid being that far away from the rest of the team in frags, it's really starting to hurt them. Only a couple rounds away until they hit that first map on the big scoreboard. For run or die. Oh. For a second, Styles could have caught a player in the rotate, but Jackie quickly nudged himself into a corner before he got a chance. But that smoke deployed obviously gives up a lot of information.
Yeah. Then saying KVM getting 2, but Danny with its raid, and now Blue Jays looking to go towards the A bomb site, but of course, run or die still have 2 players, not on the A bomb site, but on short. And say gets a second onto 8kid, and the third onto Danny. Blue Jays, what happened? It looked so good for them in that first half, and now they're absolutely, well, getting wrecked is the right word, I would say, because, well, look at this. 7 rounds in a row for run or die, if I'm not mistaken.
That's something I was talking about during the previous half. Obviously, Styles was having a massive impact when he himself was on the CT side. He had 15 kills with that AWP. But Sensei was on 9. As soon as the half was switched, He's already on 21. He's far beyond anybody else on the server. And where I was praising KVM for being a madman with the rifle, you can suddenly see that when Sensei is actually in the position to perform, he will do just that. Dude, his flicks are actually looking quite nutty.
Oh, yeah. I mean, was able to odd op simple at some point, so definitely great shots that this man can hit. Now, round number 25, and Sensei, well, he's just going for another peek. This time, won't be able to hit the flick because there's just too many targets there. Kaganito gets his second, and Blue Jays are looking to stay into this game unless run or die. Mr. KVM can pull off something absolutely incredible. It's going to get mollied, but gets the smoke out. Gets the trade, but Kixon is there to take him out and to open up this bomb site. Well, close it off really, because run or die, they're not going to be allowed into it. Kixon here, takes out Native and Jackie, all alone, 1 versus 4. And now, run or die have to close it out this map, because if they don't, overtime, I mean, if Blue Jays win 6 rounds in a row, take it to overtime, then run or die are pretty much going to be out of it.
Now, I'm just worried for Blue Jays, you know? Is this just a little gouge face? What was that from Jackie? Was that like...
Look at
That's like
Camino,
the...
1 HP.
That was the worst attempt at a Doja style play I've ever seen.
Yeah. Budgets, Doja.
Is there a chance we can see that?
I think the replay guy will definitely show it to us in a second. At least I hope, because that was actually funny to see. Oh, you really went for the Doja nade.
And he did with a Molotov.
Oh.
It just didn't work.
Oh well. Blue Jays throwing themselves at this A bomb site, and well, it comes with success. Kaganito gets the headshot onto Native, makes it a 5 versus 4, and Blue Jays wrapping around that bomb site, but they still haven't cleared out sure just yet. Oh, Psycho gets one, but Styly's just with Yop, and Styly's absolutely styling on them. Sensei now 1 versus 4, and he's like, Styly's, you're taking the spotlight away from me. Sensei, he was the one hitting all of these flicks, all these crazy shots. Now he's gonna spot Styles, but will he be able to get the kill? Oh, gets nothing. Sensei gonna get tagged instead, and oh, close to actually going down there. And oh no, the Kobe comes in, and Sensei, well, Kobe doesn't do it, but Styles finishes him off with his pistol.
There's obviously still so much in the reserve for run or die that they can still throw quite a bit of firepower at them. But man, Stylies really did God's work there, you know, running around with the AWP, made it look so easy. And run or die, before they tap out with regards to their economy, they want to take a tactical pause, you know, get a chance to recompose themselves. That will be their 4th tactical pause of the game and the final one. So no more breaks are going to be allowed.
Yeah. Lovely breaks to use to try to reset the momentum and also talk about what you want to do in the next round. Be able to call in any more. We are getting to the later stages of the game. If it does get to overtime, well, then not having any timeouts anymore can become a big issue. But we're not there just yet. Blue Jays still have to destroy the run or die economy. They're getting awfully close to it. They will still have to win this round. Kicks him. Gotta go down to Jackie, and oh no, Jackie is back. Daddy takes him out though, and well, gets 1 more. Adds 1 more to the tally. And that is B bomb site control in the hands of the Blue Jays. Run or die now. Still, a good chance to retake this. Danny, 34 HP. The player count is equal. Psycho coming in from behind coffins, but now run or die. Just have to wait out the utility, really.
Yeah, and there's another piece of it. That's going to make the retake a little bit harder. But here we go. Another chance for Blue Jays to stick it out. bomb already halfway taken down, and Runner Die, they've made the decision. Yeah, let's just tuck our heads. Not a shot that they're going to have any chance at a retake. Good decision to back off, and that also allows them to have just enough money on KVM and Psycho that weapons will be dropped onto Native and Jackie, so good decision. 3 rounds, man. This is definitely a map 1 worthy of grand finals because Blue Jays, they've done a superb job at bringing it together. Now, Run or Die, obviously, they had a massive run when wait, or didn't they run out of tactical pauses there for a sec? Was I mistaken?
I think it might have been Blue Jays then, or it was a UI bug.
Maybe.
Not sure. We don't see any Blue Jays timeouts. Well, then we'll know. Kind of. Anyways. Blue Jays getting closer and closer. Tying up this game and securing overtime. Well, Run or Die, they still have some money left. Native on the MP9, so the cracks are starting to show. The Sensei on that op. Actually, he's been on 21 for a few rounds already, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's not really had much of a performance as soon as Blue Jays had a resurgence. But look at that, Native has swung out, and with only an MP9, he's mowed them down. That's 3 members remaining for Blue Jays, and they also have to deal with 8 kit missing now as Sensei chimes into the battle. Kakanito already dangerously low, and he can't get anything done. That's the GG being typed in. Stylies, last man, op, looking very desperate, and they might have gotten the scoreline close, but it's going to be all for nothing.
All for nothing indeed. Run or Die managed to close it out 16-12, and Blue Jays, oh my, they had some moments where they looked really good. We were already thinking, personally me, I was already thinking like, oh no, Run or Die, this is going wrong. This is the map of your opponents, and they weren't able to pick it up. And well, now it is time for the mapping of Blue Jays, but Run or Die, they're looking really good. Perhaps they could even take the second.
Yeah, there's a very good chance that they do, but before we head out, I do want to mention that, man, Sensei's resurgence on the CT side, that completely changed everything. For a second, Blue Jays looked like they had some firepower of their own as well. You know, their T side looked kind of promising, but it was a little bit too late. They simply didn't have enough of a buffer to start chiming in. And, well, at the end of the day, it's a 16-12. But that's not it, ladies and gentlemen. That was the first map of the grand finals, and this is a best of 3. So to tune in for more action, just wait around for a little while longer, and we'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. You're watching CEE Champions, and man, what a game it has been between Run or Die and Blue Jays. We just witnessed map number 1, Inferno. They had a little bit of a comeback going, but alas, it all fell through. It's Wall Deity joining you once again with none other than White himself as we head into map number 2.
Yes, indeed. And well, map number 1, it was a roller coaster, really. Run or Die and Blue Jays. Towards the end, of course, it was really clear that Run or Die were going to win. Towards the end, Blue Jays were starting to come back, but weren't able to make it happen. But in the beginning, it was so back and forth. And then in the end, of course, as you said, Sensei was able to show up and really started to make a difference. And that allowed Run or Die to win their own Mapic Inferno. But now we are going to Mirage. But when looking at the statistics of both of these teams in the last 3 months, Run or Die 30%, and Blue Jays 47%. Okay, Blue Jays, they have a higher percentage, played more maps as well, but that still isn't that amazing.
Yeah, definitely agree with that. And obviously, we do get to dig into a little bit about the kind of teams that Run or Die has played versus the kind of teams that Blue Jays have had to go against. So if you look at the losses from Run or Die, I mean, they've had they were obviously branded as Akuma before. They've lost against teams like Spirit and Blink, and they've played against teams like NDRA and Sangol. So the competition for them might have been a lot worse than the competition for Blue Jays, because Blue Jays have obviously been going up against teams like ECKiv, Coalesce, Sinners, Meta for Pro. So these aren't exactly the most incredible teams, and I don't think they're the caliber of the teams that Run or Die has had to play against, so I wouldn't put too much water in the bucket of statistics.
Yeah, I do have to agree with that. And well, when looking at statistics, if we would go to a third map, Nuke, Run or Die, of course, going up against the better teams, they have 25%. And Blue Jays, they have 0. So if it goes to a third map, oh, not going to look good for Blue Jays, and that is really worrying because Run or Die already were able to win the first map. But talking about maps, here we are. It is time for Mirage, Run or Die versus Blue Jays. Map number 2, Blue Jays, of course, starting out on that D side because Run or Die got to choose what side to start on. Blue Jays now are looking to go towards that B bomb side, of course. Gixon was throwing a smoke towards the A-bomb side. That was jungle smoke. Try to fake it out, but Native doesn't get faked so easily. Gets 2 kills. Sensei with another, and Run or Die. They have chosen to neither run or die. They're staying in the bomb site and they're fighting. Should be Fight or Die. That should be their new name because, well, they're fighting and they're winning all the duels.
Absolutely. You look at Kixon, I mean, he's probably not going to get anything done here. That is yet another nasty headshot coming his way, and, well, a gust of wind was good enough to take him away there. Run or Die with the pistol round on the map that has been picked up by Blue Jays. So this is getting a bit worrying here, White.
Yeah.
You're looking at Run or Die starting off on the CT side, starting with the advantage, having the map, having the first map. So there's quite a bit of confidence being built up for them, and I'm really starting to feel a bit worried for Blue Jays.
Yeah, it's not a great start for Blue Jays because this is just going to take that momentum that Run or Die had in that last map and just continue it. Blue Jays, this really isn't going to help them with their confidence. We've seen on the cams before how 8kit was reacting to whatever was going on in the game. And, well, you could see it by reading his body language that things weren't going too well. Now, of course, Blue Jays are going for a bit of a French timeout like Mr. Existence did back in the day, while also making sure that, well, if Run or Die do want to find out what the hell is going on, they'll run into 4 players going for a bit of an Astralis stack. Now, they have finally decided to go for something. Perhaps it wasn't an Existence timeout. Perhaps they really wanted Run or Die to run into those Glocks. Oh, Sensei.
Yeah, it's just... It's obviously just expected to be a bloodbath here. 2-0, Run or Die. Good start from them, but Blue Jays will immediately have their hands on weaponry. 4,300 on average. AK start to be busted out. Few smokes among them. And it's a matter of how quickly Blue Jays can recover from the deficits that have been dealt. You know, obviously, if you're in Blue Jays' position, you've got a lot of doubt in your mind. If you're anybody that has been watching this tournament this whole time around, I think the elephant in the room is the fact that Escade ended up losing out. Teams like For Glory ended up losing out. So you start to wonder, would we have had a more exciting grand final if those teams qualified? Blue Jays have to prove them wrong.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, we've seen it in bigger tournaments as well, where two underdog teams make it into the final. It was Krakow Major, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not exactly sure anymore, but I do know that there was one. There was two underdog teams. Now, Kakanito on the ramp. He's looking to push out. Gonna get the headshot onto Jackie. Makes it a 3 versus 3 here. And this is gonna open up the side for the Blue Jays. Run or die. They are gonna try to go for a retake pretty soon. Of course, the bomb hasn't been planted yet, and Blue Jays have to get this bomb down because the smokes are gonna fade soon. Kixon now going on a bit of a mission of himself now in the stairs, but Sensei, this is just gonna go down to timing. If Sensei spots him looking away, he's gonna go down, and actually doesn't even need to look away. Sensei just goes for the spray and connects. Now, Blue Jays in a 2 versus 3. They really have to try to do this. Oh, Psycho. Takes out Magneto and, well, Blue Jays. First buy round. Not that good. Not gonna lie.
It's simply not been enough, right? Blue Jays, they've barely made a dent in the roster of Run or Die. They only got a couple frags in. One of the overarching themes that we noticed for Inferno was that Run or Die consistently ended up saving up a lot of money, and when they did that, even in the last vestiges of the game, you would consistently see their wallets being lined up in a fashion which would allow them to keep buying up, and Blue Jays, they had no answer for it. Although, it's not too dire of a situation just yet. Obviously, they're still well within arm's reach when it comes to whittling their economy. Sensei especially being probably the prime victim of something like this, as he's got the responsibility of saving up and purchasing an AWP. But here we go. Blue Jays want to make at least a bit of a mark on the B side.
And perhaps with the pistols, that could be what is required to finally get around. Well, talking about the pistols, Kakanito doesn't need a pistol. He does it with the AK. KVM is going to get a trade frag onto Danny, though, but the bomb has been planted, and it is on the A bomb site. So Run or Die are going to have to try to retake this. Kakanito actually Stylies gets an AK thrown into his hands as well, but doesn't have any body armor. So as soon as a Run or Die player hits him, they are going to, well, he's gonna get the body punch and he's not gonna be able to react that well. AVM here is just gonna go save with his teammates. Run or Die. They're gonna run this time. Hopefully not die, because 8-Kid, with Science M4, is looking to hunt them down as well. But isn't gonna push too far. Not that confident just yet, and why would he push? You can see here Native gonna shut down Kixon because he was aggressive and wanted to hurt the Run or Die economy.
Yeah, a bit of a resurgence, of course. It's a bit similar to how they did it on Inferno. Didn't take them too long to quickly get back in the driver's seat. But obviously, a lot of that comes down to Kakanito just fragging out like a madman. But now we look at both teams staring down the barrel of economic collapse. Sensei, nice shot from him, climbs up the ladder, and, well, KVM is going to also add one to the fray. Kakanito, he's fallen. 5 on 3. Bit uncomfortable to watch Stylies there. Halfway behind the box, half trying to blow out the molly. Not really going to be given much space, are they?
No, definitely not. Well, Stylies doesn't really have the teammates that he needs right now. There's only 3 players in total left, and if he had 2 more, they could help him take mid control, but all alone with an AWP, that is very awkward and difficult. And oh, 8-Kid looking to go towards that B bomb site, but will they expect Native to be boosted in that position on that bomb site? Psycho is gonna go quite aggressive, and well, it pays off. Stylies does get a trade frag and doesn't quite pan out that well for Blue Jays because, of course, with them having the lesser players, that's right, it's not going to help them. But Native actually gets spotted, but does come out with a frag. Styles gets flanked, and with only one kill, the Opera of Blue Jays isn't feeling it whatsoever, and that is really going to hurt them if they do go to the CT side. Of course, on the T side, and having an Opera that doesn't really feel it, doesn't really matter, of course, because you can just go for an AK. But Sensei starting to feel it already.
Let's see how quickly Blue Jays can recover from yet another deficit, though. Their weaponry isn't going to be as stacked as it was when they got their first point on the board. Run or die. Really, it's always been a story of them being able to slowly add coins to their bank until at least a couple of their players get to that 10K mark. And part of the way that the T side can operate is relying on economic losses. So when those haven't been coming to light at all, Blue Jays, they find opportunities to attack few and far in between. But right now, they've got a lot of attention here on mid. One tucked in underpass, one checking short. And this pincer from Run and Die obviously makes it very difficult to do anything. And with limited utility, only a couple flashbangs to allow them onto a bomb site, and the Molotov stopping them, they've got to make a move now. All right, at least they've got a Native in the bag. Is a 4 versus 4. Run or Die, they quickly want to reposition. They still have no idea where the bomb is going. AVM still waiting for somebody to try to find their way into jungle. And now, the T's are about to telegraph what they're about to do.
Yes, indeed. But the time is starting to run out. 20 seconds, and they really have to run in here. Kixon takes out KVM, and Sensei misses a crucial shot. Now, Psycho is still here. Well, 8K takes him out, but Sensei takes out Kixon right there and doesn't get the second follow-up frag. Jackie, in a 1 versus 3 situation, does look like he wants to go for this perhaps, but does have to find the first kill ASAP. Actually, smoke comes out, doesn't want to go for it anymore. Perhaps hopes that a flanker will come in. But yeah, if you're in a 1 versus 3, if you don't find that first kill, or maybe even the first 2 kills in the first 5 seconds, well, then you should perhaps just go and save that weapon, especially on the CT side. Of course, Native does have $8,000. They will be able to buy in the next round, but it would absolutely be brutal. Their economy would get reset, and if Blue Jay were to be able to overtake this lead that Run or Die have built up, he is going to punish a kid for trying to take him out. But that's going to be the second round for Blue Jays, and this time Run or Die, they don't really have that big of a lead just yet.
I was actually confident that this wasn't going to work out for them, but KVM not being able to get the kill in jungle is probably what caused the most problems, you know, just not having the additional support immediately and knowing that there's going to be a pincer in market. That obviously makes things a lot harder. But now Blue Jays are lined up towards the A side. Do they go for something that simplistic? Do they go for a page out of the oldest book known? Yep, there it is. Very standard A execute. Kixon, first man to commence. And they've only got one player in triple who will also be coaxed out, the Molotov, and there's a nade following through, trying to do as much damage as possible. Kixon quickly tucks himself in the smoke. He's trying to find damage, but it's actually going to be Danny that draws first blood. In the midst of all the chaos, though, KVM quickly capitalizes. The bomb has gone down, and they've got many avenues of approach that Run or Die can take. Do they make the call to go for this very dastardly retake? Danny, quite low on HP. That nade will not be hitting him anytime soon, and they've only got a Molotov and a couple smokes to work with. Okay, that's actually a fair bit of retake utility. Moving right on in. Firebox Molly. 2 from CT, 2 from jungle. 8Kit, he's been spotted. Quickly dispatched by Psycho. But 2 kills from Kakanito obviously make it very difficult. Sensei, his AWP is being put to good use. But the counterpart of it, it's also reacting. And that means that Blue Jays, they get the round.
Oh yeah. A much needed one. Blue Jays, 3 rounds on the board already. And well, Run or Die, they're really gonna have to start winning some rounds, and perhaps it's gonna be the hero or AWP of Sensei, because he does have that weapon that he saved from the last round. I don't believe that they should buy around it. We'll just be getting a P250, a Deagle, making sure they don't go under that $2,000 mark, or well, not too much at least, because Native didn't have much money to begin with. But look at this, Sensei, he's gonna push up middle, and this could be huge. Oh no, misses the shot, misses the window of opportunity, and that could have been a great start to this round. But now Sensei, he's gonna try to perhaps look for another opportunity. Will be rotating towards the B bomb side. I'm wondering, is he gonna aggress there as well? Because it does look like 8kid is holding it down right here. Now, a window smoke will be coming out of the Blue Jays camp. Stylies won't be able to take middle all alone with an AWP, especially when they know they're going up against the pistols. Just a bit too risky for his taste, I would say. But oh no, Sensei. Don't know if he made a scope sound, but I do believe 8kid is aware of his position. But oh no, Sensei! The timing was actually absolutely amazing for him, but couldn't find a kill. 8kid takes him out, and Jackie goes down as well. Sensei was pretty much the X factor here for Run or Die, but he's gone down, and what can he do now?
Yeah, KVM's obviously managed to pick up an AWP for himself, but that's got to be tucked into a backpack or something just so they can take it on for Sensei in the next round. The loss bonus for Run or Die, it's not going to be enough for Sensei to buy up an AWP all on himself, so they're relying on something to be saved. KVM in market, Psycho looking for exit frags so he can perhaps have a silver lining to his current economy. The Blue Jays, they've tied things up. That's very respectable. They were struggling on map number 1, but so far on their own mapping, they've shown us a lot more confidence. Yeah, 8kid just looking very defeated right now. And I like how his camera just got stuck there for a second. It looks so dramatic.
Yeah. So I just want him to be happy for a bit, you know? Just really hope he starts popping off at some point in this final. Perhaps it could have been
Everybody is asking, who is the guy in the camera? But nobody's asking, how is the guy in the camera?
Yeah. It always do be like that.
Mm-hmm.
Same with us casters. It's always, who's the caster? But no, never. How are we feeling? Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
We're just the voice in your ear screaming about what the hell is going on your screen. Tactical timeout has come out from Run or Die, especially because it's really starting to go wrong. Blue Jays 3 rounds in a row now, and with this being their map pick, of course, it is to be expected that they could potentially win this one.
Now, you really have to give props to KVM. You know, he's gotten quite a few frags. He's always been a very nice supportive element to Sensei on the squad of Run or Die, but, oh, I say that, I might have jinxed his life a little bit as he immediately gets taken out. Sensei still got that AWP to work. And I'm willing to say that he wants to go for a bit of a reposition so he can catch somebody out. And that's probably why Native went for a flashbang as well, just to perhaps give him a little bit of space to work with. But that's not what Blue Jays want to go for. No, they've got 2 players in Palace. They're about to be walking into Jackie. Oh no, he doesn't expect it. He doesn't expect there to be 2 players in Palace. That's how the cookie crumbles.
Yeah, Sensei still able to find a kill there. Keeping them in. Oh, another kill. Okay, Sensei. 2 versus 2. You have a defuse, get him Psycho. Well, he's coming in.
Oh,
like
Psycho knows.
Yeah, he knows. He knows the positions that takes out 8kid. The defuse has been faked, and Psycho with the second. Psycho and Sensei, the dynamic duo, were able to clutch this one out. Becky, looking at his vape coming out of his mouth. Interesting. Just chilling. Jackie, all game, he's just been looking so calm, and I have to respect it. You really have to respect it. It's really difficult in a grand final.
Okay, VM. That's the first shot onto Danny. Run or die. Honestly, they're kind of staying true to their name for the most part. They either run away with rounds or they get completely washed at the very start. Ooh, juicy nade. Kixon gonna have to pay with his life for being behind the boxes. But 8kid and Kakanito, they've quickly brought the rope a little bit closer. Jackie, oh, that flashbang is gonna make that duel very uncomfortable. Pops off the ladder and eventually goes down. Now on the retake, there'll be 2 members, Native and Psycho. And although they might have, Psycho might have assisted in threading the needle in the previous round, it's simply looking a bit harder now. I don't think Blue Jays want to make another mistake just like that. Bomb. Soon to join them. Kylie's go for the overextension. Does he peek into connector? No. Wants to plant on default.
Goes down, and well, run or die are gonna choose to run this time. Could still die, of course, if 8kid does feel a little trigger happy. But I still don't believe that he's really feeling that confident right now. He's gonna be clearing out the CT spawn first. Dangerous, of course, if CT is hiding there when you try to exit there. Sometimes you just run out with your knife and then you get a bullet to the face. But 8kid, actually, very confident right here. He's frozen on the camera, but I'm sure his hands are up right now. And Blue Jays managed to find the 5th round. It's actually back and forth right now. Something I do really like to see, because it hasn't really been like that in this game just yet, I do believe.
Yeah, they've never actually gotten ahead of Run or Die just yet, but I know that Blue Jays haven't looked too convincing just yet, but you also have to consider that they're playing the T side. Yes, this is their own map pick, but they don't have that advantage just yet. Looking at the buy from Run or Die, it's going to be a bit poorly put together. Instead of having the big old AWP, instead he has a very discounted version of the Big Brother. Desert Eagle on Psycho. And Blue Jays want to make their efforts known to AB. 8kid. Oh no, sneaking does not work in that instance. Instead, that could be a shot at a free weapon, but Psycho, his greed is going to quickly be punished. Native is called in for reinforcements. Sensei will be watching right into the apartments as Native repositions right under them.
Yeah, Native. I think out Stylies. Blue Jays now in a tough position. Mr. Danny is gonna pick up the bomb. And does look like an A split may be the best option for them here. Ganito coming up in connector, and he's gonna spot KVM, but will he find a kill? No, because Jackie is there to assist. Kixon and Danny now coming out of the ramp to this A bomb line. The connector player has already been found, so the plan has pretty much been told to Run or Die. They know what's coming in. Jackie holding it down, and Kixon. Teammate not really gonna throw a flash, even though he did have one. In the end, it doesn't matter, because Kixon just wide swings and gets that kill. But Sensei, not on the op, but with the scout. If he gets a headshot, the tag, it might be enough. But no, Danny takes him out, and 2 versus 2 retake scenario. Native with the headshot through the wooden planks, and Native now 3 kills in this round so far. Kixon does take us his teammate, but it is a 1 versus 1. Kixon looking to play with his food, looking to swing perhaps, is still standing behind Tetris. But that smoke is going to allow Native to get on that defuse. And oh my god, he's sticking at Kixon. Doesn't believe his very own eyes, but gets the kill nonetheless. 65. And he managed to do that in the final second. 5 kills and 10 deaths. That's really going to help him with his confidence.
That was barely it too. I mean, what was it, like 0.3 or 0.4 seconds, something along those lines?
Oh yeah, it was.
If he didn't hit the first shot, if he didn't get a headshot, I believe he would have gotten the defuse. And now Blue Jays, they finally pull on through. You know, they push forward. They've gotten the advantage against Run or Die for the first time in the series, and it's not like anybody's been a super standout performer with the exception of Kakanito. It has been a team effort through and through, but now Native is starting to cause a bit of a ruckus. He's gotten 2 kills in the bag as Danny and Kixon, they start to do their dirty work. Yeah, it was a bit of a Pyrrhic victory as they got those first 2 pistol kills.
Yeah. Then saying KVM here. Oh, I was gonna say they're gonna try to go for exit frags with KVM. 12 to 6. Yeah, it's a 1 league. Don't have a defuse kit though, so a round win. Very difficult to obtain. They're definitely doing a lot of damage, especially against BLUEJAYS economy. Most Stylies, Kekanito, very low money, and Kixon is gonna have to fully reinvest, so definitely hurts them. But in the end, it's the round wins that count. On the T side, the economy really easy to maintain. So that damage not gonna mean too much. Run or Die really have to start winning some rounds again, because 5 to 7, if BLUEJAYS keep winning rounds, this is looking really bad for Run or Die.
It's a bit surprising that Run or Die don't have more rounds right now because of how good their kill distribution is looking. I mean, you're looking at KVM, Native, Sensei, all fragging out of their minds, going 12 and 6 and 11 and 6 respectively. Well, on the other side of the spectrum, you see a very negative scoreboard. But BLUEJAYS, you know, they've consistently managed to get the bomb down and play the objective, basically, because Run or Die, a lot of their kills have come from exit frags, a lot of these pistol kills that don't really convert into rounds. And I'm kind of waiting to see a bit more impact from Sensei, you know, want to see how he pivots around the map with his AWP, because truthfully so, he hasn't really pivoted that much around the map, right? He hasn't been too dynamic. Most of his kills have come around on mid or connector, and maybe he's getting a bit too predictable for BLUEJAYS.
Indeed. Now BLUEJAYS looking to run out of
oh my goodness,
a bomb side, and Jackie is just gonna punish them, holding down Palace with that silence them for so damn deadly. Now BLUEJAYS, they're gonna try to recover this. Ganito in sandwich, hoping that a Run or Die player overextends and gets a bit too aggressive. KVM is gonna take out 8-Kid, and oh no, absolutely shuts down this round from BLUEJAYS, and Run or Die managed to find a much needed 6th round here. BLUEJAYS, their money. Oh no, it is absolutely broken.
Yeah, it's just bonkers, man. The fact that BLUEJAYS can get so much done in the past few rounds and then they suddenly lose their money to Run or Die. Not exactly sure how that happened, but you know what? They can feel somewhat comfortable with this. Obviously, a lot of BLUEJAYS' efforts, they're being disabled by the fact that Stylies still can't be fully enabled over on the CT side. So when that switch comes through, obviously that is going to change some things. But 8-Kit, you know what? This is the kind of point where I'd like to see that camera. When he gets a shot like that, I want to see that the reaction on his face. And maybe that AK is going to go a long way to maybe carving something out even in this round.
BLUEJAYS now running towards the A-bomb site. Will be shifting right now to make sure that Run or Die don't hear the footsteps. But something tells me that that smoke won't stop them. But Sensei might.
Oh, here they come.
Oh no, the timing. He's not checking this. Oh, that is the issue when you're holding both the ramp and the connector. Now Jackie is going to recover this. Yeah. Flashes of his teammate. Psycho throws one. And Jackie takes him out like a sicko. 4 kills right there. And it is 7 to 7. But yeah, that is always why I don't like seeing a player on ticket with an op to just switch between ramp and connector. Because if the timing is wrong, you're just gonna get wrecked.
It's actually a massive lifeline that Jackie can hold down the wire because though he over-raced, he overextended, he stepped above and beyond the Call of Duty to get those kills for his team. Oh, bit of a firing range being brought up by Sensei and Native, but eventually Jackie will be the one to pay with his life. Now, how far can they take this? You know, they've gotten the entry frag. And they convert. Just being on double ops, that can also in itself be a bit of a possibility, but that's not going to happen. Kixon, Khalil in hand. He's only good for one before he gives up the half to run or die. But man, White, this has been such a good performance from Blue Jays, even on the T side.
Yeah, I just when I see these 3 rounds, I just don't understand how the score is this close, to be honest, because I mean in some rounds when they lie, they just run and get all these kills, and it just looks like they're absolutely outclassing Blue Jays. But then when you look at the score, you see that they were able to get 7 rounds on that T side, and well, that is very good. That's like pretty much winning the half, to be honest, especially when you know that a T round is pretty much worth, I would say, 1.5 CT rounds at least. Now, technical timeout coming in. 8 kit. Perhaps needs to give us more than 1 FPS. Maybe? Nah, that's not going to be it. There's a player dropping out. Do love his presence.
Oh, there he is. Back in it.
Checky is just lounging now, isn't he?
Yeah, just waiting for the tactical timeout to be over, you know. Start letting your muscles feel a bit loose. As we head into the second half, this pistol round is going to be of the essence. If Run or Die can actually get away with the pistol round, I think just the confidence and momentum they've built up over these past 2 games, it may carry them forward. It might allow them to finish it out quickly, but Blue Jays don't want to allow that. Quick boost up, went into apartments, and this early proactiveness, this willingness to push is actually going to cost him. Kicks in now, final man. I said final man, but the reinforcements are there, and he can look like a RoboCop as he's shooting at them in dead cold silence. But quickly, the tables are going to be turned. It's a 2 versus 2, still very well within reach for both teams. Bomb down, KVM very low. P250, though, is being wielded by Psycho, and that makes things a lot harder. The one healthy player on the side of Blue Jays has been taken away, and so has Danny.
Well, I could already see chat saying, check Kixon PC. This is not normally, because those shots, oh my, they were so crisp. But unfortunately, it wasn't enough for Blue Jays. And that is something really worrying, excuse me, that him doing that isn't enough. His team really needed to step in and help him out. Unfortunately, weren't able to do that, and Run or Die now 9 on the board. They make their lead 1 round bigger. Psycho here with the Galil. You can see he's looking for those eco frags. Blue Jays just with the pistols for USPs and a Desert Eagle. Of course, Run or Die are gonna have to be careful because Blue Jays, they could go for a force buy. But I'm really liking what I'm seeing because I've kind of got on board. Like the force buys, they're nice and all, but I just missed this old Counter-Strike where you just in a second round go for an eco. I really like it, but that may just be me.
Yeah, in the old Counter-Strike, I mean, I'm talking as if I'm like 40, 50 years old. And, like,
Sometimes feel like it.
Into like generations upon generations of FPS games. But no, just like in the earlier days of Counter-Strike, obviously it was much more common to see one-sided games because the economy mattered that much, and recovering from a loss bonus reset was just a pain in the. Do you know how to whistle to censor?
No, I actually don't. I'm sorry.
Crap.
I do have like a censor button on my GoXLR, but I'm not going to use it because it will break your ears. I don't know why they put that on. Like, why is that a good idea?
Well, a double digits though, they've been secured for run or die. Blue Jays, it's a very important round for them. You know, a lot of their tournament life at this point obviously hinges around it, and I say that, but realistically, everything they do, it's all about just closing out the tournament. You're in the final match, you're in the grand finals, and dropping this round obviously means that Run or Die potentially get a chance at closing out a couple more. Recovery, that's not going to be immediately apparent. And the problem I have with potentially Blue Jays potentially losing out another round is that unless we see Stylies online on the server, we can't expect Blue Jays to win. That AWP needs to contest Sensei. It needs to have at least the same level of impact as Sensei did when he himself was on the CT side. Now, granted, Sensei didn't look that good. There were quite a few mistakes. There simply wasn't enough mobility in his game plan to allow him to get a bunch of freebies. But that's at least a bar that we can set for Stylies, and he's quite far from it. I mean, he's on 5 kills right now, and Kakanito also being tucked into bed right now makes things a bit harder for Blue Jays.
Oh yeah, Blue Jays on their CT side. This is where they have to start stringing together these rounds, because otherwise, well, they don't really have a lifeline anymore. That first map already going the way of Run or Die, and Danny and Stylies, well, perhaps they could still save this round, because right now they are in a favorable position, unless of course Jackie gets that follow-up kill. Nade is gonna take Kixon down to 21 HP, and while Jackie just has another nade, he has an infinite supply of nades, and Sensei comes in, destroys Stylies and 8-Kit now 1 versus 3. There's 2 players low on HP, but that doesn't matter if he doesn't hit his shots. Run or Die, they get 11 rounds, 5 rounds away from winning CEE Champions 2021. We're not just there yet. Blue Jays, they can still win a few rounds and get back into things. That did look like they're going for a 45.
You talked about how you missed the old Counter-Strike where you don't want to see force fires and all that. Well, let's see if that's going to keep ringing true. Yeah. Man, ever since the M4A1Ss have become commonplace, I see very few rounds where people can come out on top in ecos. And I'm saying that even though it's Psycho on the T side that has picked up an A1S, but it feels like it has so much stopping power for some reason. It feels like it's a silenced AK at this point.
Yeah, honestly. Just seeing a T use the M4A1S, it just feels dirty. Like, I feel dirty by just watching that. Like, I feel like I want to wash myself just when watching that, because it's so disgusting what he can do with it, what everyone can do with the weapon. M4A4 totally out of the game right now, besides the people who have a nice skin, because then you get a pass for still using the weapon. Of course, there's scenarios where it still is good, but anyways, 8-Kit. 1 versus 4. Will be stuck on that B bomb site. He's gonna chill there with his deagle and his armor. If it was only a deagle, sure, go for it. But of course, on the CT side, even if you don't do anything, you're still gonna get that loss bonus. So it wouldn't be a bad idea to save this, because he didn't take any damage just yet. Head armor is gonna come quite cheap. Of course, you know, an AK for free. He would really like that, so he's gonna hold and hope that he could get some exits. But yeah, he's been spotted. He's gonna run for his life, and Run or Die, well, it's dinner time.
Now Blue Jays are finally in that territory where even losing out rounds, they can still kind of have enough money to keep it competitive for the rest of the game, but man, Run or Die just consistently have so many clean rounds, being able to save that many weapons, that Blue Jays have to consistently play against a fully loaded T side, and they have to play off of a deficit. So many disadvantages. It makes things hard. And right now, Blue Jays, they need to show us what they're made of, and Stylies will do just that. Although he's gotten a kill, though, his teammate will be very quickly traded out. 4-on-4, the CTs, they've got to scramble a little bit. Let's see if Danny's going to peek in, though. That's an AWP waiting for him. The flashbang does not work. Oh, no, it's just falling apart, White.
Yeah. Sensei just doesn't care what the Blue Jay players want to do. He's just going to take you out with a nice little quick scope. Oh, no, Kixon. That is so damn unlucky that the Molotov spreads towards his feet. And 8-Kit now, once again, 1 versus 4, but once again, not gonna go for it, because I mean, why should he? He needs this weapon. It's pretty much the only thing that Blue Jays have in the next round. And well, Run or Die know this. But of course, they don't know where 8-Kid is. Well, they do have a bit of an idea where he could be, so they're slowly but surely getting closer and closer to his position. Cue the Jaws music. There's KVM getting awfully close. Of course, 8-Kid can still survive. KVM now looking to enter the kitchen. Just hope he checks left first, because otherwise he's gonna lose his life. And well, that's what he does. He takes the prize home. Even gets a Molotov. Actually, no. Already had a Molotov. The incendiary, leave that. It does less damage.
There's just so little that Blue Jays have to throw at Run or Die at the moment. I really appreciated the initiative that Stylies took, you know, heading into Palace. You're already showing a lot more mobility than Sensei did, but even with that, they're not able to deliver results. Sensei, op in hand, he wants to open things up on mid, and most of the attention from Blue Jays will be on B, and they've already been cleared out. That is an A site that is completely open. Nothing you can expect. 14th round, guaranteed for Run or Die. If you're Blue Jays, you're already seeing that tournament life fall through.
Now, well, Daddy, what do you think that Blue Jays need right now to turn this back around?
I really do like the difference they've already made. I know we didn't get to cast that for too long, but they've now bought a double op setup. So maybe just having something, having a bit of a surprise is going to be there to kickstart their journey. But they've really been playing this static style of Counter-Strike. You know, there's no mid control. You can see how quickly they can get pincer from connector because there's no short support. There's nobody in connector. There's nobody early peeking out from middle. They're not often deploying utility to try to take areas of the map. So with map control being very few and very limited, you can see why Run or Die are playing this to their own pace. And time has never really been much of a problem for them.
Oh, yeah, indeed. Now, Sensei, 12 HP, and Kid, 16. But, of course, the CDs do have a double op situation right now. Wondering if that could maybe be the difference maker in this second map. Well, he's holding down window, but KVM pretty much doing exactly the same. The Molotov is going to bounce off, so won't be going the way of Stylies just yet. The Stylies will know that a player is down here, but honestly, if I was Stylies, I would just stay where I'm at, because KVM, 21 kills. He's been popping off, and together with Sensei, have really been making a difference here on Mirage. Run or Die are ready to go towards the B-bomb site. Right now, they're just waiting for Native to perhaps make a sound, try to fake this one out. He's throwing some utility, but doesn't really make a difference, especially with the fact that Danny is going for a lurk. But 8-Kid gets the first, and oh, Blue Jays, okay. Everything is going right for them here. Sensei in a 1 versus 5, and Blue Jays have just found themselves a lifeline.
First step on the stairway to heaven, or should I say stairway to map number 3, question mark?
Yeah.
I mean, Nuke's got a heaven, so still makes sense. But there's a 6th round difference in between Blue Jays and Run or Die.
Oh, wow. I would be too slow to hit that shot, but that's why I'm casting right now. Round number 23. It's looking really dire for Blue Jays, but after seeing that round, I mean, I'm not believing just yet that they can save this, but it's if they can give us a few more rounds like that, it is definitely gonna look a lot better for them. Kekanita, oh, that is so unfortunate. KVM spots him running away and doesn't take any prisoners. Shoots him in the back of the head, and Jackie here from the underpass. Run or Die have complete mid control, but Danny, he will compensate for that. He's gonna take ramp control and hope to perhaps catch a player coming out of Palace. Unfortunately, he may be at the wrong Palace exit because Native moving up towards that A-bomb side. And well, there's also Psycho holding the push. Not sure if he spotted Danny, but Danny definitely got a bit scared. Didn't want to dedicate to that anymore. And Run or Die, they're getting ready for what does look like an A split. And oh, Native takes out Danny. What now, Blue Jays?
Oh no, that flashbang serves as a distraction for Sensei to move right in. That's Kixen and 8kid being left on the other side of the map, huddling onto their guns with nothing to spare. I mean, heading into the next round, they are obviously going to have a lot of money here, White, but you're giving up a 15th. You're giving up match and series and tournament point.
Yeah.
You're definitely feeling a bit pressure right now, and I'd love to be able to see the player cams. A bit unfortunate that we only have one player from each side of the squad, but well,
Oh.
I said one player from each side of the squad, but then only one player from the entire server shows up.
I mean, this
I
actually...
think that is this like some kind of Halloween theme we've got going on here, where like players pop in and out like ghosts.
Ooh. Yeah, I mean,
spooky.
I didn't dress up
for Blue Jays. It is pretty scary.
Oh yeah, and I mean, perhaps 8kid actually disconnected from the webcam because something that I was mentioned earlier. Perhaps he was actually feeling the pressure because, of course, it adds some extra pressure. People are already looking at your gameplay, right? But when your face, when your emotions are being shown to the world, you're perhaps going to stop worrying about the wrong things while playing the game. So perhaps he was like, okay, this webcam thing is not working out. I'm just going to turn it off and maybe I'll play better then, because all series, he's not really been performing, and I do believe he actually disconnected, or maybe, of course, his internet, because he was lagging.
This is going to be a much harder play than what we've come to expect from Run or Die. All of their attention is towards the B side, with the exception of one player over towards mid. 8kid quickly chimes into the battle. That's 2 shots connected, 1 leg. 3 versus 3 as Jackie quickly puts 2 in the grave. Now he wants to follow it up with a 3rd. Nade following 8kid in the grave. Oh no, this is just a disaster. Danny, he's only left alone. 1 versus 2, Sensei and KVM. Well, they're going to make very quick work of him. That's going to be it, ladies and gentlemen. It is Run or Die, who are your CEE champions.